Okay, today is November 26th, 2019. We'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors regular meeting to order. First item on our agenda is to approve our agenda.
I'll move to approve.
And I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve our agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion comment. Motion passed. Getting rid of myself, public comment. Item 2, public comment. The only comment we have is a compactor that's outside the window. Item 3, review action regarding approval of November 12th, 13th, and 18th, 2019 meeting minutes.
And I had a chance to review those, and I found them all in order, so I'm going to make a motion to approve November 12th, 13th, and 18th, 2019 meeting minutes.
And I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of November 12th, 13th, and 18th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 4, review action regarding approval of claims.
All right, and I had looked them over and didn't see anything concerning, so I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
And I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 5, which is the second reading of William and Julie Joyner's petition to rezone from Ag to R1, parcel 072310000200 and parcel 0723100110. Property known as 2604 and 2606 160th Street, Floyd, Iowa. In the west half, the northwest quarter, section 23-96-16 in Floyd Township.
Have we had any feedback
Any?
at all? You know, since the first reading, I have
I've
heard
heard nothing.
nothing.
Nothing
No.
since your hearing, no, I mean, that would have been the time for.
Yeah. I mean, if there isn't, I can go ahead and,
There's, we might do number 6 also, just, you've done your second reading now, so discussion on your second
Right.
reading.
right,
And discussion on the subdivision part of it, and then the number 7 is the resolution,
and the resolution is including
both,
both, that's it,
Resolution
okay,
38-19.
got it, so it's including both,
Yep.
okay,
Mhm.
all right.
We'll go to item 6.
yeah,
Okay. And item 6 would be the second reading regarding William and Julie Joyner to establish subdivision known as Riverfront Drive addition on parcels, same numbers I did before, 160th Street, Floyd, Iowa. And the same thing, we've had no correspondence whatsoever. I had a few initial questions, just people want to know where it was in the beginning, but haven't heard anything since.
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
property already owned by them, just
right,
splitting it for 3 parcels, so for a family.
So we'll move to item 7, which is review action regarding resolution 38-19, zoning change and minor subdivision,
see how we just go through,
Joyner
click, click.
property.
All right, so since we have heard nothing, I would go ahead and make a motion then to approve the second reading and waive the third reading on the application. And that would be approving resolution 38-19
And approve the adoption
And-
of the
and approve the adoption of it.
final reading and approval
Right.
to rezone of both the subdivision and the,
And the, yeah, let's see. Yeah, because that's always confusing when they got both of them. So anyway, to establish the subdivision, and then also approving the zoning change from minor subdivision.
And I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 38-19, which involves a zoning change and a minor subdivision creation of the Joyner property. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 8, second reading of Raymond Holzer's petition to rezone 1.58 acres from Ag to R1 on property located at 2648 195th Street, Section 2-95-16, St. Charles Township. And again, have we had any, this is for rezoning only.
Right.
Right.
Leslie just mentioned yesterday about the subdivision
Right.
still kind of hung up on the city side. And
Right.
But we could go ahead and approve at least the rezoning part.
And it's actually only a portion of what the whole thing is.
What we did before, this
Right,
is just an
exactly.
addition
1.5
onto.
acres, so it's
Right.
not the whole.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
adding on to what was done in 2016.
Sure.
For the resolution, yep.
So we'll move to item 9, which is review action regarding resolution number 39-19 with zoning change for the Raymond Holder property.
Well, I will make a motion to approve resolution 39-19, approving the second reading for the application of rezoning 1.58 acres and waive the third reading
And then that last one also.
and approve the final reading and approve the application to rezone 1.58 acres of said property from ag to R1.
Okay, with that, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 39-19 zoning change for the Raymond Holder property, which includes waiving the third reading and approving the zoning. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 10, review action regarding Christmas Eve holiday for employees. Talked about this yesterday,
So
so
then,
Yeah, this is the one, and I just think it's the right thing to do. You know, we need to treat our employees the way we want to be treated, I guess, and like I said yesterday, we talked about this, that, you know, as a society, for the most part, people do something on Christmas Eve, they recognize it, and I think Christmas Eve is one of those that people are busy with family, and we want to make sure they have those times for their family, and so with that, I'm going to make a motion that we designate Christmas Eve as a half holiday, and we give our employees half the day off as a paid time off. It would be half their work schedule, whatever they're scheduled to work on Christmas Eve day or Christmas Eve, they would get half that time as a paid time off.
all right, I'll second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to give the employees a half vacation day for Christmas Eve holiday. All those in favor?
Holiday
not
pay.
vacation. Holiday pay, not vacation pay.
Holiday pay. Okay,
And then is that, the intent is that the courthouse closes at noon?
They close at the time that can be worked out with the department heads, because I think, yeah, the courthouse would close half the day.
Okay,
So whatever half that workday is.
so if we're open 8 till 4:30,
So they'd close at noon.
12:15, okay.
12, yeah,
12:30.
12:15.
Right. Yeah, 12:15, is that?
because that would be half the day.
Or just wanna say noon or,
8 to 4:30. Right, because you're that hour for the noon, right, so you close at 12:30.
12:30 or 12:15?
12:15?
If you're saying half a day, it's
Right,
8.5
right,
hours.
so 12:15.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
just one clarification.
And no,
that's
that's good to
fine.
clarify that, and
That's
I
fine.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay. So does that change our original motion?
I'll just add that as a comment, that the courthouse
As more
closes
clarity.
at 12:15 for clarification, yeah.
Well, I'll start over. So it's been moved and seconded to allow a half holiday pay with closing time as clarified by Gloria's addition. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries.
I want to point out, we had a situation with our collection site, and we changed our Saturday to Monday after Thanksgiving. So those satellite sites will have to figure out what half a day is for them and when they close.
But again, you, like you said, then work with their department heads.
Right, work with their
They
department heads
just
and
need to
figure
make
that
sure that
out.
they're.
So the public knows that they may come into a place that works earlier they start, and so then their half
Half day
day
is different.
is different,
Right.
right.
I agree.
Okay. Item
Department
11.
head meeting.
Review action regarding LEC courthouse project contracts and change orders as applicable. So,
And Brett was hoping to be available at 9:30.
is he gonna come here, or is he?
No, we'll call him. But he wanted to have all of them to discuss. So the two that was in our packet plus the young, he was gonna talk about too, so.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on to item 12. Review action regarding resolution number 40-19, a non-current interfund loan/transfer, Fund 40001 back to Fund 40000.
All right, so this is, when we did our first round of bonds for the law enforcement center, we had, those were done in December, so it was nothing budgeted for tax collections for this, September and, March, this fiscal year. So we had our first bond payment due June 1st of 2019. So we had to fund that, if you recall, in either by general fund or other. And I visited with Elizabeth, and we could fund that through the debt service revenues that we have collected through TIF for the wind turbines. And so that's how that was funded rather than general fund. And so now we're just paying that back
Okay.
to the TIF debt fund revenues.
For what was done back in June of 2019.
Yes, so it was 100,000, the interest payment was,
867.
yeah, 100,867. This just puts that money, just does a transfer back to that fund to make it all right. We've collected sufficient taxes to cover that, as well as the bond payment that's due December 1st. And so we should be good to go.
Good. Great.
So it does just what the title says, non-current interfund loan transfer payback.
Yep, yeah.
I'll go ahead and make a motion then to approve resolution 40-19 for that non-concurrent interfund loan transfer payback.
And I'll second that.
Okay, been moved and seconded to approve resolution 40-19, the non-current interfund loan transfer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 13, review action regarding resolution number 41-19, debt and TIF certification.
Okay, every year you're required to certify your debt as well as any of that's TIF debt or just other debt for the county. So this resolution does both of those. So the, what I should have, this should be your first part on there should be the 1,867.
That's what threw me off,
Yeah,
and I was looking at the amount
100,867.
too.
Yeah, I forgot the bond,
Okay.
the fees, there was a
So
$300
the
fee.
101,000, it should be what the number is from the previous.
Yes.
Right, the
Yes.
same as
Yeah.
what we just
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, I'll redo that.
Okay,
Sorry, I missed that. That's just the interest payment, but there's the payment for the fees to, the invoicing for the bonds to Bankers Trust, or UMB now, that it is, so yeah, sorry, I need to correct that for you. And then the bottom half of that is the TIF debt for the wind turbines. So interest on bonds paid for that was the 127, fees paid to Bankers Trust, 935, and Northland Securities for 435, or 435, so a total of 128,435.
Okay.
So I will correct
Well, with
that.
that, I'll make a motion that
Yeah.
we approve resolution 41-19, debt and TIF certification with the corrections that we talked about.
All right, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 41-19, TIF, debt and TIF certification with the corrections that Gloria talked about. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 14, review action regarding approval of the fiscal year 19 annual urban renewal report. That is also in our packet.
So that's the 7-page document in your packet, and this just shows the interest that was paid on the TIF bonds.
Hey, we already approved your thing,
I know, and I saw you walking in the hall too, and I wanted to let you know too.
Yeah, I didn't know if,
Yeah,
oh, we had no questions, we didn't know anything, so you're good to go.
so
You're
we approved
and-
the second reading and waived the third
third
one,
one. Okay,
okay?
so now, is it just what, go be recorded and will they go back to the lawyer's office? I don't know.
I'll give Leslie a copy of the resolution, and she can proceed with your subdivision. I don't know where you're at with recording. You'll have to record your subdivision plat through all those requirements with the recorder's
Right.
office. Yeah, I don't know if Leslie has
I
that.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Great.
Right,
Yep.
yep,
All right, good
thanks.
luck.
So this is just only the TIF debt is what goes on the urban renewal reports. And so this is just the wind turbine part of this. And this is for any activities through June 30th, 2019. And I did this, what I'd sent here is an updated packet from what I'd sent over the weekend. Because I contacted the Department of Management and said, I'm not sure how to handle this part with this loan that we did from the TIF debt to
Right.
our
Right.
non-current
To-
debt.
right.
And he said, so if you were to check fund balances, you'd be off that amount on this front page, that 100,867.
Okay.
And she said, you know, since it's paid back, she said I wouldn't, I just leave that the way it is because it's not TIF debt, so it doesn't apply to that. But she said I'd make a comment. So if you look on page 6, there's a comment that says this fund
Page
balance.
6.
Yeah, page 6 of the annual report.
There's 7 pages to the report.
Yes,
it
yeah.
says here.
So there's a comment there that says 5/28/19, resolution 22/19, non-current interfund loan approved, 100,867 transferred from fund 40,000 to fund 40,001,
Mhm.
and transferred funds back
On today's
11/26/19
date.
resolution. Fund balance on the annual urban renewal report does not reflect this amount.
Okay, and so that will
So,
suffice.
Yeah. So that's the change from what I had originally sent you as a comment in there.
Okay. Good.
She said we should be good there with that.
All right.
And by the way,
anything else?
I guess I kinda skipped over on that resolution you just passed, that you passed the TIF debt, and that is, this other page is what we reconcile here in the auditor's office. This is what every city that has TIF debt has to provide this document to us, it has to be approved by resolution, so that's what all this is about.
Sure.
It all kinda goes together. I thought about
Right.
putting it in one motion, but it's kinda like, well,
That's all right. Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the fiscal year 19 annual urban renewal report.
And I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the fiscal year 19 annual urban renewal report. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. So item 15, review action regarding resolution 42-19, transition county social services to one employer.
I can talk about that a little bit, and I know Gloria has information on it as well. This is something that County Social Services has actually been working on for a long time. And the goal here, or what'll happen in the end, is January 1st, all employees that work in county social services will work for county social services rather than for individual counties. And we had 4, we currently have 3, I believe, employees that this directly affects.
You mean Floyd County,
In Floyd County.
not the whole region. The region has many more than that.
Oh, the region has many
Yeah.
more, but there's
Right.
3 that work for Floyd County currently. Yeah, the region has close to 50, it's been right at that mark. And so, what ends up happening with this is, if someone's working at a specific job in one area of the 22 county district, and somebody else is working in that same job in another part of it, in the past, each county was really responsible for how much that person got paid, what their benefits were, how they were treated, everything. Now what it's gonna happen is, if you're doing the same job in one area and another area, somebody else is doing that job, you should be treated the same. And all employees should be treated the same for vacation and holidays and, you know, everything, the benefits so it should be a better system for the employees.
Sounds much cleaner.
Much cleaner, much cleaner. As a matter of fact, in the last year or two, as I understand it, they've had situations where some counties, what happened was, if you lived in a county, that's usually who your employer was. And some counties, they've needed people because they had changeover or whatever, and the county said, no, we don't want to have those as our employee. And so then it caused problems. And so, and it's liability, it's all sorts of reasons that a county's had for that.
What
And
was
so
the
this
vote?
is gonna clean that up.
What was the vote for that to pass anyway?
18-3 or something, the 3 that are
The
talked
3
about, or
are
I
the
think
ones
it wasn't all 22 weren't represented, I think we were missing one, but I think it was like 18-3.
So
So the ones
majority vote.
that plan on
everybody
staying
agreed.
all agreed with this, yes. And
Just makes sense.
So where was that car? A 2009 Toyota Corolla?
That's the car Bob drives every day.
yeah, Barb, and that's the only one we own, actually, is that right? For them, I mean, yeah. And the key to this whole thing is, well, there's a couple things, and that's, I haven't actually visited with Gloria about this, and first off, as I understand it, the mental health fund paid for all of these, like the car. And so it just makes sense that that's what happens with it. And the equipment that we're talking about, mental health fund paid for that stuff. And so that just makes sense.
Right.
The question that I haven't visited with you about, and I'm not sure, but we've talked about it in our CSS meetings, do these employees need to be terminated?
Yes.
How do they go? They do, yeah. Because that was something that and I'm not sure all the counties are gonna deal with it the same, because each county is individual.
Yeah.
You got 22 of them.
I mean, that makes,
They,
again,
yeah.
the cleanest
The
way to.
questionable part of that is when you typically terminate someone, you pay out their vacation,
Right.
that type of thing.
And then they start all over.
CSS is not asking us to do the payout for those. They're asking us just to
Terminate
give
their
them
employment.
the hours that they have on the books. And we just zero them out here without paying them out, but CSS puts it on their books. for
So they're
that
gonna
part.
get what
So
they
they've
are
got time
entitled to
on the
get
books, yeah.
without losing it.
And the
Right.
employees have been told that they have to get it all down to a certain point that CSS won't accept.
Large amounts, so.
Right,
carry
because
over.
what CSS said was, you had some employees that had X number of hours
Yeah.
that they could have for vacation,
Right.
and another employee could have a different number.
Right.
Well, CSS put a level, everybody at a reasonable level.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we're treating our employees very fair, which we're trying to make it as easy a transition as possible. And
So when does this take effect?
Did,
Yeah,
January 1.
So anyhow,
So we will terminate them on our insurance, all counties will have to offer them COBRA insurance, but they have some form of insurance.
Is that date
Plan.
December 31?
yes,
Yep.
yes.
And then the part that has not been resolved, I've not seen anything, is how general assistance is going to be handled. That, there's only like 6 or 7 counties or something like that that do general
have that.
assistance through mental health. Other counties do it on their own, or maybe they share it with VA, and so,
Right.
yeah, that's still up in the air, so don't let that fall off the radar, because we
Right.
are without a general assistance person right now.
Right, we are.
And so I think and I know it's been an important, Carol had been an important support person for Renee and the office there. But we had also intended
For Maria.
Maria to have that support of that
Absolutely.
person. And so there's the whole questionable thing about whether that general assistance person becomes an employee of mental health. There's some controversy over that, whether they should be a mental health, a CSS employee or not, and then
So
contract with general assistance
How
services.
does that decision get made?
Then I would have presumed Bob, it's up to you guys and Bob.
I was gonna
Of
say,
what
it's up to
happens
us to
here,
have, but
but I
it's
get
up to
that,
us
but-
to have somebody administer general assistance, is that the way I understand
Right.
this? So then it's how we do it, it still comes back to our board decides that.
This board, not
Right,
CSS.
yes, this board.
It's
I
This-
just
not
wanted to
up
make
to-
sure that we're saying that,
Yeah.
because I
Right,
didn't
this
want that to
three-person
be
board.
assumed and then,
From what I understand, CSS, some think it's appropriate for general not appropriate, that it would be permissible to have CSS contract general assistance services. Some don't, so it's
Yeah.
up in the air. So you may want to seek the county attorney's advice on that.
Yeah, and I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah.
It's one of those that, Bob had some ideas, he was trying to keep it simple, but I don't know if it can be kept simple, is the
Right.
problem. To be fair to all counties and to CSS.
Right.
And so that's the problem I see.
yeah.
And, maybe there is an opportunity, years ago, general assistance and VA were combined, maybe there's an opportunity on the county side to do
That's what I was
something
gonna say.
different.
That's what I was thinking too.
So what are we
you
gonna do,
know.
wait till budget time, or are we gonna,
Well,
Who's
I was
gonna-
gone the day Bob was here, that I thought you all were going to talk about that.
Well, I
That-
think the way it's gonna happen, or the way it's
Carol-
happening right now, for instance, is CSS is still taking care of general assistance.
Yeah.
Renee is doing it, or,
It's still,
Right,
there's
and I
still a
think-
budget there for it,
Right.
just
I think
nobody
that's
getting paid
how
any
Renee
hours to
said
do
it too, that she's gonna take.
and
it
the office use up
incorporating-
there is gonna remain the same,
at this point, that office is gonna remain there, yes.
just the way it is?
But,
So that means that
But
Bob's
I
not
didn't
moving over
see
here at
that,
all?
well, I didn't see where you got from the minutes that
No,
I was
we
gone,
did
that you
not.
guys said anything about go ahead and interview, hire or
No,
anything? I've
we
not seen
did-
any postings.
we did
I don't know
not.
where you're at with that.
for general
That's when
assistance,
I was
We
gone.
did not.
That's when
I
I
think
was
we were
gone
waiting
on
for it.
vacation.
Direction from Bob, maybe?
well, and I'll
We
tell
need to get it
you,
back on.
Bob still has ideas in that maybe CSS can partner with some of these counties for general assistance. And his position is, and I hate to speak for Bob, but if my memory's correct on what he said to me was that he feels that a lot of those same clients come in to CSS and general assistance, and rather than having to go, well, I can't help you, you gotta go there, and then they can't help you, and you gotta go back there, it's all done in one office, it's a one-stop shop.
Which is what our theory was, when
We
we
see
were
some
gonna
of that
bring them
going
here,
back
you
and
know,
forth
and go into the
between
county
Maria
attorney's
and
office.
general assistance there.
Yeah, so I don't wanna lose sight of that, I don't,
Right.
because we had a lot of discussion.
Right.
And
And trying
I
to make
don't
sure that
think-
we're addressing that.
And I don't think as far as what the mental health offices of CSS, I don't think that was, they're still talking about coming here, I believe,
Well,
right?
as far as we know of, we have not heard
Yeah.
anything other, but I think what we need to do is kinda like meeting with the judicial system, I think we need to have another regroup.
Well, I think you said your general assistance thing is
General
an issue
assistance.
now,
Yeah.
and it's an issue
Right.
January 1.
Exactly.
I think
We've
that,
got
So
some
that's why
time
I'm
with the
saying, I
building,
think we
but-
need to just further, have him come back in, have that discussion and figure that out.
We thought that it functional wise, originally when Bob was here, that maybe VA could temporarily move out to that building during the construction, and then it would, then they could work together and maybe this would all work out.
Right,
Well,
and
then
then
it,
she
then
could
it
even
comes back
occupy
that that's
that
not a
office.
reasonable thing to do, right? And so that really, and that was after the fact, that all came up.
It's a future agenda item, I know we talked about
Yes.
yesterday, but I think
So-
we need to circle back on this, so
Yeah.
we don't let too much time go by, like you said, before January 1st when this takes effect.
But anyhow, so, and just FYI also, we talked about replacing Carol's position, and Bob decided, between Bob and Renee, I think they decided that they weren't gonna do it at this time because everything was gonna change January 1st. So, because it is a little confusing having employees move from one employer to another, so they said,
I still think there's some benefit there
Yeah.
too with Maria, you know, we've had that discussion for a
Yeah.
long time, so,
Numerous,
yeah,
long
it
time.
is,
but they are gonna replace Carol's position, but that'll be through
Right.
CSS,
okay.
so.
Okay,
So, if we approve this resolution, does that change that? Talking
Karen?
about the,
The general assistance?
yeah,
No, this is
no,
nothing to do
because
with
this
general.
is
No.
just Bob,
This is
Ray,
mental health.
Renee.
so we can,
And
Courtney.
general assistance will
Yeah.
really be a separate agreement with CSS.
Right.
Either a
That's
contract
what it
for
sounds
services
like.
or
Right.
somehow it'll be
Yeah.
a separate agreement.
Okay,
well, Carol's position was never 100% one or the other,
Right.
she was shared with,
25/75.
right,
yeah. Was 25 general
It
assistant?
used to be 90/10, and then it changed to 25/75 the current budget year.
So the 25 was the general assistant?
Yeah, yes, yeah,
mhm,
the
Okay.
smaller amount general assistant.
What was it, 75?
Mental health.
mental health.
Okay.
So, yeah, so depending on what we do with that, I mean, we've got whatever that budget amount is, but if you were gonna go hire somebody, you can't hire somebody, you can't hire a
Well,
25%
25%.
person hardly,
No, but
and
that's
expect
why,
them to,
hopefully, there
yeah,
could be some other options here.
yeah, see,
If we
so.
were to look at that, that's,
Yeah.
Well, again, and it was something that was intended to change at some point because a percentage of Carol would have gone to VA in the future if she were still the one coming here.
Right,
With the move to the courthouse, so that would have all changed to some
Sure.
degree anyway.
all right, well, if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve resolution 42-19 with county social services transition to one employer.
and I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 42-19, transition of county social services to one employer. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. So now we go back to,
Colin Brett,
yeah. I don't remember what item it
who
was.
said he's good whenever.
Which you want to do it?
Yeah,
I can look it up too if you.
Item 11.
okay. Go ahead, do one.
Yep. By the way, we have nothing on the agenda for Dusty because we
This
took
Brett.
that off.
Brett,
Hey, Brett.
Cam,
Hello.
yeah.
I've been waiting all morning for your call. Wait, that's it.
Good
That Cam was calling me. Of course, I swear I haven't been on a call today unless I'm already on a conference call.
Okay, I guess my question on those, you know, those clarifications that are sent to the, we got one from Schindler Elevator and one from
Yep,
the precast people, I forget their
MPC.
name. So they're,
MPC.
Yep. MPC Enterprises.
yeah. Well, are these, does it change the scope of work from what they bid?
Not at all.
Okay,
So ideally what happens is when you have a contractor that is ideally custom manufacturing something, i.e. precast, MPC, or Schindler elevator, they have a lot of money invested into, procurement, production, manufacturing, this and that. 99% of the time, I see it from elevators and I see it from precast, and all they're really stating is this is what needs to be ready for us to start manufacturing, for us to put our dates in to start delivery, and this is what needs to be ready on site to deliver, such as Schindler's for the elevators. I have buddies that run a couple of elevator companies, and they're like, you get a phone call, yep, we're all ready for you. You travel 6 hours mobilized, you just spent $50,000 doing that, you get there and there's not even a building ready for you. So what the supplements do, all they're really stating is it's more on the construction GC side. So, if me and Brian are on site, we're taking measurements. Yep, everything's good, everything's ready for you. As soon as you show up, you can start installing these. If they run into issues because we didn't do our due diligence, then that's what they're stating on that end. Like where they start charging fees if they, like the elevators, if they have to, sit in storage for more than 4 months, they're going to charge us fees.
Yeah, I understand that. On that Schindler contract, I was reading through that, and on the other clarifications, that item 3, there's barricades, a hoist beam, and a temporary platform are by others and must be installed prior to delivery. So what I was asking Brian, and he didn't have that detail today, I just caught him in the hallway, but whose package is that under?
Dean Schneider.
Okay.
That's what I wondered.
And
And the hoistway, idea of what the hoistway is, your hoistway is your concrete surround that the elevator sits in. So what they're saying is don't come out here and expect us to install an elevator if you
that
don't have
hasn't
your
been done.
elevator shaft ready for us to install.
yeah. And on the precast one, and I showed that to Brian, it says contractor, which I assume is the precast people, will not be required to conduct field measurements. And then there's another one down in another paragraph that says contract owner or construction manager must be required to maintain access, and there's some other stuff. Will be responsible for cleanup of mud and all that stuff. So who would be
That
doing?
one already talked to them about, because everybody knows in any job that I do the steps on my site, they're responsible for taking care of themselves, because I'm never giving anybody a free pass to, this sounds bad, but to just pretty much walk on my job site and start trashing the place and do whatever they want and expect somebody else to clean up.
Well, we would hope it never
Well,
happens,
I would
but
hope not.
Oh,
yeah.
no, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. That does not happen. I've kicked people off jobs before because they threw a bottle on the floor the third time after I told them to throw it in the garbage can that was 2 foot from them. But anyway, the point I'm making, I'm a stickler for that. But now I also got a hold of Dean Schneider. Cleaning up and taking care of the streets to tracking is also part of their GCs.
Okay.
So while they have it covered, MPC is still required. If they drive their semi on that lot and they track out a bunch of mud, they're cleaning it up.
Okay. Well, those are my only questions, that just make sure somebody
But
has
that's
it.
good to
It just
know.
doesn't-
I mean, yeah, who
Yeah.
really ultimately is
Yep, and
responsible.
And when when I get these, I read through them thoroughly. But to be honest with you, these are no different than any other ones I've seen in my career from, like I said, the main ones are your elevators and your precast people, because I ran into a situation, knew a guy that worked at a company, they're halfway through manufacturing precast panels, and all of a sudden the company folds and the contract gets canceled. Now here's this company sitting with $800,000 in precast panels that are custom made. It's one thing if it's an electrician, they just ordered a bunch of lights. 9 times out of 10, they can return them or they'll be used for another project. But when it comes to something that's a custom manufacturing job like an elevator or precast panels, it's just supplements saying, hey, when we're ready to come out and install these things, just make sure that you're ready for us to come out and install these.
Yeah, and I see that. That's the very first item. The payment for contractor's work shall include payment stored at the contractor's storage yard. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
I get stored materials, but are we gonna pay for them when they're down there in Mount Pleasant?
No.
Okay,
No. So they are required to keep their materials on site until the dates that they are set up to install. And right now, like say MPC, for instance, they have it slated for production from 127 to 228, and delivery and start install at 3/4.
Yeah.
So.
And I
we'll be ready
understand
for 'em.
stockpile materials, you know,
Yep.
electricians and plumbers, why do you expect them to carry your project, so. But anyway, those are just questions, I just wanna make sure that we're all on the same page and it wasn't just gonna pile up into another, oh, we didn't have this.
Oh, no. No, I do my due diligence when it
Okay.
comes to these, and like I said, every now and then you get a contractor, such as MPC and the mud tracking. A lot of times, why they do that is because you have somebody that's a PM sitting in an office that isn't on site when these semis are showing up. Well, who's getting a phone call when they're tracking mud? The PM. Except for when it comes to my situation, I'll stop a truck driver in the street and hand him a shovel and be like, you need to clean up after yourself.
So,
Mainly because if I drive my personal vehicle, I don't want to get mud on it.
That sounds good.
those are my questions, anybody else?
No,
Do we have anything to actually approve here?
These, require signatures.
2 signatures by chair.
This one,
The clarifications?
Yeah. All they need is a signature just saying, yep, we've read them.
yeah. And then, I don't know if you talked about the yellow pole.
Or,
These two have signatures. These are need approvals. Or, well, I assume.
which ones are they?
The
They're-
MPC and the Schindler.
And the Schindler for the elevator,
And those are these clarifications,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. Okay,
So we just need
Well,
a,
And
actually,
all
we
that
haven't
is
even done a
those will
contract
just
with
We-
Get stapled to the contracts.
what's that?
Say that again, Brett?
I said, all it is those get signed, they just get attached to the contracts to go in the file.
But again, we haven't signed the contracts for those two,
Nope,
but.
no, you have those two contracts.
What?
we do?
Again, though, what we're saying is that it's never come in front of the board for us to approve the actual contract with these 2 companies.
We've not received a
Not-
contract yet for MPC or Schindler.
We have the clarifications, but I don't think
Right.
we've ever seen the contract.
I don't think so. So that's why it seems backwards a little bit, that we're signing these when we haven't. It would make more sense, I guess, to have signed the contracts and then approve these.
The only contract.
But I think what my plan was, just get those to you guys, so when I got them back, I could attach them to the contract, sending them out to you.
Oh,
Because I had thought that those were ones you guys already had, but now that I think about it,
no,
I don't
Oh.
think they've been to the architect yet. So that's what my plan was. If I get those back, I can attach it to the contract and then do it all in one shot.
okay, but then you
Okay.
still want us to approve these,
Yeah.
okay,
And
all
those
right.
could just come back directly to me.
I don't think we ought to approve the clarifications if we don't have the contract, do we? I don't think so.
It
When
just-
can you get us a contract by?
Well, I could have Melissa send it over right now. And actually, to tell you the truth, if I'm
Well-
looking at this,
Because it just feels odd, that that
We
we
have a
would,
special meeting on Monday.
Huh? Yeah, we'll just have a special meeting on
It's
Monday.
gonna happen
Sure.
before Monday.
Mhm.
We have
And
time to review the contract. then.
If you get us the
Yeah.
contracts, then we'll have a special meeting Monday on our
Yeah.
workshop and do it then.
so we could
Ju-
do the contracts, do these at the same time
Right.
on Monday.
Right.
Yeah, that feels better.
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah, and that would work out better because then we can have them all put together in one deal.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, so you'll get us the actual contract, okay.
Yep, and they'll go today because I'm actually, and that was my fault. I'm actually, when I look at my email, Schindler sent their contract and their safety plan directly to me. I forwarded them to Melissa, but we were waiting on that supplement page to forward them out. So yeah, you guys don't have them.
I thought maybe we were.
I can tell
using
you all
it.
about it, but it probably won't help.
I have not seen it.
We've only done 5 contracts so
Yeah.
far and 2 change orders.
We're just trying to put you through the loop, prove to
Yeah.
you that we read these.
Yeah. So the only
Well,
other,
and,
go ahead.
well, I was just going to give you an update where we're at on credits back to you guys.
Okay,
Right now for change orders, which just sounds kind of funny, sitting at about $109,000 sorry, 118 with that $9,000 credit back on the roofing. It has been credited back. The precast MPC one totals 233,000.
Okay.
So that's the big CO that'll come through. Then the only two that are left out there is detention, which that went back out for repricing because there was a note on here, change camera, switching manufacturers, a $50,000 credit. I'm just waiting on something from Sweeper to get that to me. So it can be reviewed. The only other one is Young Plumbing and Heating. Now on that one,
I've been talking to Paul, the building inspector.
You what?
I've been talking to Paul, the building inspector, about those ones from Young. And I'll continue that this week and have an answer by Monday.
Well, and I'm thinking we could do this one of two ways. And if you guys are going to hold a special meeting Monday for these two contracts, we can wait on the Young one until then to see what you find out.
Yep.
Or the other thing I could do is I could always, since that'll be, the only one's left will be that one and Sweeper, I could send that contract through without the change order. The contract can be approved so they can start on material once we get these CO items figured out, since it's a little bit trickier than these other ones. Then once we get them figured out, that can just be a separate CO that'll go towards your contract. But it's completely up to you guys how you want to handle it.
Why don't we just do it all Monday?
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what we could do. So I can get, what I will do is I will get these contracts sent out. As soon as I get those two supplementals sent back to me, I'll get to Melissa, get MBC and Schindler sent to you so you all have them. And then we'll get Young Plumbing sent over to you as well. What we can do is, like, I'm not sure what time your meeting is, but if you guys figure out, like, yep, we're going to take all those plumbing ones, nope, we're taking 3, 5, and 7, we can throw together a change order real quick and shoot it out to you. So.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
The plan
Sounds
would
good.
be to meet at 9 o'clock on Monday, so I don't know if that matters too.
Do it.
So the plan would be to meet at 9
Time.
o'clock on Monday.
Right,
for
we
a
always
special
have our
meeting.
meetings at 9 o'clock.
On Monday.
Got you.
And we won't have a Tuesday meeting next week. Just Monday. So we'll make it a special meeting so we can approve them.
Unless you needed more time, you could have your meeting on Tuesday instead of Monday.
Department head meeting?
Oh, yes, department head meeting.
Mhm.
Wednesday or whatever day.
Yeah,
Wednesday
we
doesn't
can,
work for
we
me.
can adjust.
Let's see.
So that's December
That was
2nd.
something else just brought up. If Monday doesn't work for you, we can move that meeting to Tuesday, but not Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
We gotta, one of us has something to do on Wednesday.
I got CSS.
You do have an 8:30
So-
meeting on Tuesday also.
What's that?
We have an 8:30 meeting on Tuesday, but you could do it.
Department
Department
head.
head,
Yeah.
Or we could do it after it,
right,
either way.
yeah.
So if it worked better later Monday or later Tuesday, we can move it. You can let us know.
I can
I
make
can post
whatever
it.
you guys need, I can make work. And like I said, even if I can't be on site, I'm always available for a phone call.
Okay.
So you can even call me on Thanksgiving during dinner. I'll just be with my family, so it's a nice little break.
Jeez.
Well, we've got to put notification,
I have to post agendas today for Monday's meeting
right.
because.
Gotcha. Oh,
Because we're
Good
closed,
idea, guys.
we're closed Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So agendas
Yep.
have to be posted 24 hours, not counting the closed days. 24 hours ahead.
Yeah,
So if we
minimum.
meet at 9 o'clock on Monday, I have to post agenda by 9
So
o'clock
if we did it on
tomorrow.
Tuesday, you still couldn't do it on Monday. That's not enough time to post the
As long
agenda.
as
Well, you
it's
did it in the-
24 hours.
Yeah, if we had a
Right.
Tuesday afternoon, say we had a Tuesday at noon, you could post it anytime before noon
Noon
on
on
Monday.
Yeah.
You know, just throwing a number out.
I think I've got somebody coming in for I think it's the 9th of December, somebody coming in for
So am I hearing, do you wanna move it till Tuesday?
it's up to him. It's up to Brett.
It's up to you, Brett.
He said that, you said you could have it ready for Monday? Is that correct?
yes.
Okay.
Like I said, if you and that's the thing is we could even be on this call right now, and if all of a sudden you guys are like, we want this, and this for credit, I could literally go to
When is
Melissa.
it?
Why?
She could have the thing typed out, emailed out to you guys probably within 5 minutes.
I got it there.
So,
Yeah,
Let's do Monday.
Monday.
Okay, Monday it is. We'll be,
I like Mondays.
we'll be awaiting correspondence.
Hey Brett, is there anything
Sure,
else then to
yeah.
cover today, or you got anything else to let us know?
the only other thing I was wondering, so here starting this next month, we'll start being a pay up since we got construction going. Normally what I handled with when I deal with county, cities, this and that is, at whatever the first OAC meeting is of the month, I usually send it out to the board of supervisors, everybody that needs them. They have time to review them, and then I come to the OAC meeting, explain anything, and that's how I do approval. But I don't know how you guys are used to doing it, so. And I just find it easier that way because any questions on percent complete, hey, where are we at with this? If we ran into any issues, we have any constraints, where we're at on schedule, can all happen in one big shot.
Right,
So, OAC
So-
meetings, are they full board though? Are
that would be for a board,
they? Yeah.
yeah,
So Brett, you're
So
thinking once
this-
a month?
yeah.
What's that, I'm sorry?
You're thinking once a month? Once per month?
Yeah, you'll only, yep,
We-
so right now what we'll do, since we know where we're at, you know, we're getting footings in the ground, we're coming up on winter, and I have Brian there on site, is I figure the whatever works for you guys, the first time that works available for you guys at the beginning.
Well,
of
we
each
have our
month,
meetings
do an-
every
do an OAC
Monday.
meeting, what's
And
that?
we have our meetings every Monday and the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday. So any one of those you can hit. We can make a special meeting out of any Monday meeting.
We've got a special on the 16th for that.
But if it's just status updates, it wouldn't
But,
necessarily
I
have to
mean,
be,
this is-
if there's
this is
action to
For the
take.
duration of the project, so you may
Right.
as well pick one.
Right, just, and we'll try to be consistent about it each month.
Yep,
Cool.
and that's what I want to do, so,
Yeah.
and I'll look through it, because like I said, when it comes to, you know, your normal updates, or hey, how's this going, or is there issues, you got Brian there that'll always bring those to you guys.
Right,
But while we're getting moving, probably throughout the winter, because you all know it's going to get slow. You know, we can do what we can do right now. But an OAC meeting, the beginning of the month, every month. But once we hit spring and we're really moving in construction, that's when I prefer to move it to probably an OAC meeting once every 2 weeks. So you guys are staying appraised as to what's going on. If there's any issues, you run into change orders, you know, keeping you guys involved in what's going on. And, you know, that's when you get a lot of movement. You got a lot of people coming in and out, and a lot of things are moving and shaking. So,
You just pick a scenario and propose it to us and we'll be fine.
okay, yep, that sounds perfect. What I'll do is I'll get hold of Brian, get his input, and Prohaska, if they're going to want to be there, and just kind of see what works for everybody, or I'm more about what works for the majority type person. And then I'll just shoot it to you guys come Monday, and we'll see what we get figured out, and I'll get an invite sent out.
great,
Okay,
good.
All right, you guys got anything else?
think we're good.
All right. You guys
Have a good day and a good holiday.
Got my number.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
bye.
Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
So no action?
that's item 11.
So how do we wanna handle
Yeah, do we
that?
want to table that then?
Table it
Some
till
of
a
these that
specific
were on
date?
here?
We have it for
I mean, it
review
wasn't a
action.
specific in our action, it was just more if there were any, right, contracts and change orders. So since it wasn't specific,
You could go.
No action taken.
You could-
Yeah,
yeah,
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
item 11, no action taken.
Yep.
Okay, item 16,
I'll move to adjourn.
And I'll second.
we are adjourned.